Hello everybody, John here, and time for some more secrets of the XK8. If you're enjoying this series of videos, please share with your friends and communities that you talk with, and consider giving us a subscribe, a thumbs up, and possibly commenting. If you click the bell icon on YouTube, then you'll get notifications when each new episode comes up. As a rule, the interiors on the XK8 are really well screwed together. You really shouldn't be getting too much in the way of rattles and squeaks, even with a convertible and even when it's 21, 22 years old. But there is one item that does seem to develop a bit of a shimmy and a rattle. On the XK8 there are several speaker locations, and if you have a lower end car like mine, then they're not all occupied, including that one there on top of the dashboard and this tweeter panel just at the area where the wing mirror is. If you go back to this tweeter panel and say I've got a lower spec car, very early car, just use a sharp implement to go through one of the holes, give it a lift. Obviously it's the same on both sides. If you have a speaker, then at this stage that will be clipped into this aperture and you can easily detach it. And behind that is a Torx screw. Whoops. And if I just put the tool on so that you can definitely see what I'm talking about. This particular Torx screw, it very often comes a little loose, and I found invariably that if I'm getting a noise, either a squeaking or a sort of twitching of plastics noise from the top of the dash, it's coming from there, or at least tightening that stops it. I'm sure there are other places where you can get squeaks, but I found that is the one that does it for me. There is also a little tab there in the middle of the dashboard which you can lift. It comes up rather than back, so you try and get again a sharp object or a small screwdriver, and if I can point, oops, this edge you lift up and it comes out very easily, and there's that same bolt there, and of course on the other side of the car. Give those a pinch up, and if you've got squeaks and rattles, my experience says that most of the time that gets rid of them. This next one is a bit of an epic time saver, and it's thanks to again one of our subscribers, and thank you so much for sharing. This is really great stuff. We talked about before the fact that the XK8 actually has a self-learning ECU. It's got the engine ECU and it's got a gearbox ECU, and over a very long period of time it will develop traits that suit your driving style. So if you're constantly cruising, very gentle throttle inputs, then it'll make the gearbox slightly more lazy. It'll not move the engine around so much on the cam timing. And conversely, if you're aggressively driving all the time, then it makes the shifts change a little bit quicker, and it maybe makes the cam timing a little bit more active. But to get that to happen, it learns over a long series of miles. You can trigger it, and that's the way I've been doing it, by disconnecting the battery and leaving it off for at least 10 minutes. And also maybe touching your positive to ground. Don't short the battery out. That's the positive terminal of your lead to ground after 10 minutes, just to make sure there's absolutely nothing left capacitance wise. Then it resets everything, and the car will learn over the next 10 miles or so what is your learning style, driving style even. However, we've had shared with us a secret shortcut to getting the gearbox to learn your driving style afresh. And if you're having a few problems with your gearbox, it might be worth a try out anyway. So, step 1, turn your ignition key to position number 2. Next, depress the throttle pedal slowly all the way down and engage the kickdown button. Step 3, hold in that position for at least 10 seconds. Whilst the throttle pedal is still all the way down, but after those 10 seconds, turn the key all the way off. After a further 10 seconds, very slowly raise the accelerator pedal. All the way to the top. Now, just wait 2 minutes. And don't turn the engine on, don't touch any buttons, don't do nothing. Once we've waited the full 2 minutes, then we can start the engine and drive away. It will learn your driving style in the next 15 minutes. So by doing this, it shortcuts the whole process and puts the gearbox ECU at least into the right sort of style for you without it having to learn that over a very extended period or without having to remove the battery. Thank you so much for that tip.